we rightfully correctly emphasize the genocide. Um, the proper thing to do from a revolutionary point of view, from a class point of view, is to focus on what's happening to Gaza, what's happening to the Palestinian people, the hundreds of thousands, what appears to be just the leveling of Gaza in an effort to push the people out. Uh, Worse than Nakba, really, of the 1948. But where we don't want to go, and it's not easy, is into, depression and demoralization. It's very difficult to do that. I don't know about all the comrades, but some of the comrades, they look at social media all the time, and that's all you see. How many people were killed? How many children? There's a flip side to that. It's the fact that they can't hide the genocide that has been the catalyst for the worldwide uprising in solidarity with Gaza and Palestine, where if they were able to keep it a secret, it would be a different situation, as the imperialists and their bulldogs, be it apartheid in South Africa or Zionism and in West Asia, they're able to hide it, at least for a while. They're never able to hide it forever. But I guess what I want to focus on for a minute or two is that even though Netanyahu has not been killed yet, and his regime has not fallen, and the genocide continues, they're losing. What I do, and I guess it's almost like a division of labor. Tony's always telling me what social media is saying, and oh God, this is hard. Look what they did. Look what they did. And I tend to look at the bourgeois media. Why do I do that? Because I want to see what sometimes they say it outright, and sometimes you have to read, through the lines. They're shitting themselves. Especially the ones that are even an imperialist and being honest, that's mutually exclusive, but the ones that are a little more, just not, pumping themselves up on the delusion, they know that Israel has reached a tipping point, and the tipping point is a cliff, and they're falling off the cliff. They're not going to survive this. You can't put this shit back in the box. It's over. Unfortunately, who knows how many more people have to die. And that's hard to swallow. And how long it will take. Why wasn't it yesterday that they collapsed? How can you possibly wait until next week? But it's happening. All of the pillars that are holding up this. Israel's an abscess on West Asia. It's an abscess. It's a rotten growth, a parasitical growth, a violent, and the abscess go away when you burst them. And that's not, that's often an unpleasant process. We won't go into that. And that's what's going to happen to Israel. I know that all of you have heard something about the fact that, more and more of the reservists that they're calling up are not showing up. They're just not showing up. And, I don't know how much of that is in solidarity with the liberation struggle of Palestine. I'm guessing a little bit of it is, but most of it's not, and we wish it was. But, we're materialists. It's based on, we can't do this anymore. We can't, we just can't do it anymore. There'll be more soldiers killing themselves. And I'll tell you, it's better that they do that than they're sent, to do genocide, and their economy, Israel's economy, it's a ghost. It's completely not only is the war, the genocide, completely dependent on the U.S. The whole economy is on life support. And as the economic crisis deepens here, and the profits that the ruling class has been getting here, you think that's not going to affect their ability to continue to keep the Israeli economy on life support? So this is important. It's not happening as fast as we need it to. Unfortunately, we're not able to stop the horrendous martyrdom and the suffering, the unspeakable criminal suffering. But it's coming, comrades. And once in a while, we should focus on the other side of the equation, and that is that Israel is falling apart and it's going to collapse. And we wish that there was a growing social political awakening there, and they were not only reacting to what the war is doing to them in their lives, but they were in solidarity with the Palestinian people, which is really in their interests. For much of, there's a working class there. It's just completely discombobulated, because it's tied to a settler state. And it's tied to occupation, and if it can't free itself from that, that's really, really bad. But what should we say to, people there? What should we say to, the non-Arab Israeli society? Well, if you really want to just stay with Zionism, and you don't want to die, get the hell out. Get the hell out. You don't have to die. If you're going to be for Zionism to the end, we won't be crying any crocodile tears. But here, you want pragmatic advice? Get the hell out, so that the people who are left, who are non-Arab, they will agree that part of our staying is our commitment to building Palestine and coexisting with the people who have liberated their country from the river to the sea.